Okay, so I'm gonna start this video off real quick. Um, I didn't make a video for the Cowboys Browns game, so I'm gonna do that today, and then I'm also gonna include the Colts game. I'm gonna be real quick because I really want to talk about something else. So we went to Cowboys put up retarded numbers. Like we have the best running offensive line when it comes to running. Our backs are crazy. Okay, even without Nick Chubb, you just oh my god, like it's all about execution. It's all about how we run this line. Um, Kudos to the coaching. Kudos to all of them. Um, because it didn't really matter who we had as running back. We just ran the ball. I think we had like 165 like yards before contact in the running game. Like that's just retarded. Um, Amazing line when it comes to running. They're pretty good at pass protecting too. I think Baker is suffering a little PTSD from last year where he didn't have any time at all to throw the ball. So I think that he doesn't understand that he has a little bit more time. He could sit there a little bit more. He can make his reads, go through his progressions, and deliver the ball. He's a little bit happy on his feet when he's in there. He kind of gets scared a little bit too quick, and I think that's remnants from last year. Um, our defense, I mean, they came out and they got takeaways. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, they weren't really good at stop it. Well, they were good for like 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden, in like what 8 minutes, they scored 24, 25 points, something like that. Like it was just, I think it was a combination of Dak and that offense is really good, and also a combination of our our front line, our defensive line wasn't really was tired. They were tired. You could see they were tired. So they couldn't really put any pressure on Dak anymore. And if you give Dak a couple seconds, that's it. It's he's putting the get the ball into the end zone. Now I will say this: our defense dropped like 3 or 4 picks. It was kind of frustrating. I think one of them, like our I think it was Carey picked it up and Sendejo came up by and like basically plucked it out of his hands. It was infuriating because we should not have been in a game when we were up by like 41-14 going into the fourth. Um, but I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. They got turnovers. They put pressure on Dak. They stopped the offense. I think Cowboys were like what number one like passing offense or number one in yards or whatever the hell um, coming into that game. So I mean, what more can you ask for than to stop them for 3 quarters and then I don't know. I think this team is so used to not playing, not winning, that they don't understand that they need to keep pressure on the other team even when they're up by a lot. Because you're in the NFL, okay? Like any team can all of a sudden come back up on you and make it a game when you already had the game won. So you need to keep the the pedal on the metal. You need to keep your foot on their neck so that you close these games out. But I will say one thing: the story of this year is that when the Browns need to close out a game or need to make a play or need to do something to stop the momentum of a team or something like that, they'll do it. So I mean, this is probably just going to be a learning thing from the coaching side, a learning thing from the players' side that never get comfortable because in the NFL, anything can happen, okay? A 10, 14 point swing can happen in literally 2 plays, like it happened for the Cowboys. Uh, Strip sack, fumble recovery, started by Myles Garrett, who's playing lights out this year. So they're tied up 14-14. Myles Garrett comes over, strip sack, recovered by the Browns. They go up 21-14. Very next play, Zeke fumbles the ball. Browns go down another touchdown. That's 28-14 in 2 plays. So they need to learn how to keep pressure on other teams, even when they're up, even when they're winning. Okay, because in 2 plays you can be up by 14 or down by 14, just like that. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Defense did enough against a very good offense. Offense did a lot. I mean, they scored damn near. I mean, 40. I'm gonna just say 50. They scored 50 on them, which I'll get into the Cowboys in a little bit. But overall, good win. Going on the road, winning a tough game against. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, going into somebody else's stadium and winning is not that easy. Okay, especially with somebody that can put 24 points on the board in literally 8 minutes or something like that. Like Dak and the offense put up that made it a game in like 8-9 minutes or something like that. It was crazy. So good win. Today the Colts, they looked really good. There's this game, you can divide it into 2 halves. First half, Browns attacked the passing defense of the Colts, which everybody said was going to be like the best and all this other stuff. And they just literally just went straight for it and just went down the field, scored points. They got a pick six because they put a lot of pressure on Rivers. He made bad decisions. He threw a pick six. We're good. So the first half of the game was good. We could not run the ball on these people. I mean, I thought, man, maybe their defense was good just because they hadn't played anybody that could run the ball. But I don't even know the numbers, but I'm pretty sure we're like just if we made it to like 100 yards, I'd be surprised, because it felt like we couldn't get more than 2 or 3 yards per run. Kareem Hunt dealing with injuries. You can tell he's not 100% right now. You can just tell he's on the sideline stretching, trying to keep loose, having staff work on his like legs and stuff. He's not 100%. Dearness Johnson literally like saved that game. It was a combination between Dearness Johnson and Higgins. That block from Higgins to open up a lane for Johnson to run, and then Johnson having the mindset or the intelligence or whatever you want to call it, to stay inbound on that run, to keep eating away at the clock. Well coached. That all you can do and say is like that's just a well coached team, unlike last year. Okay, so that defense. I mean, I thought maybe they hadn't played anybody, and that's why their numbers were like good. That defense is legit. Okay, because in the second half, oh my god, dude! Like pretty much all the mistakes that were made by the offense of the Colts. Because the defense played really well, except for those like closing seconds where Hunt came in and got an 11-yard run to get a first down, to keep the clock moving, and to burn up a timeout from the Colts. And then Dearness Johnson and Higgins, that block from Higgins and Dearness Johnson came through and basically put the game away. Parkey, I mean, I was thinking about him like hitting the upright and like missing the field goal, but I didn't want to say it. But at this point, it's like his identity. When the game's on the line, he's gonna dunk it off the freaking upright, and either it's gonna go in or it's gonna go out. It's just how it's gonna be. What else? We had a lot of injuries this game. This was a very like you could tell this was not a game that any team wanted to give up. Okay, this defense on the Colts was playing very physical. The offense from the Browns was playing very physical on that, especially on that front line. They were smacking people around. They were throwing people around. I will say this: the Browns played a very disciplined game. Not a lot of freaking penalties. I think they had two. Just overall, this is a game we would have lost last year. This is a game that it was basically, it came down to discipline. Okay, it came down to discipline and wanting to win. Period. And the Browns wanted it more. They pushed through. Our right guard, which was like the number one rated guard in the league, came out of the game with like a calf like sprain or something like that. Hopefully he's fine. Um, what else? We had a couple more injuries. Baker like looked like he was in pain for like the last 4 or 5 minutes of that game, or 3 4 minutes of that game. He said I guess they're taking X-rays for his ribs or something like that. Um, Hopefully he's fine. He seemed fine. He was talking on the on the post game press conference. He seemed fine. Let's see what happens with that. We had a couple of defensive players go down, which is just, it's so debilitating, man. Like, we're so like thin at defense, and then we have players dropping all over the place like flies. Again, I think somebody got a concussion. The guy that got the pick six got a concussion after that. Like, it's just, we need that bye week to hurry up and get here so we can get healthy. Hopefully by then we should have like Nick Chubb back, because I don't know if it's maybe because this defense was just that good, or maybe we did miss Nick Chubb. Um, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that it's because I'm personally thinking that even if Nick Chubb was there, it wasn't gonna be it was pretty much gonna be the same game. Um, so this defense, the Colts defense, is just really good at stopping the run. Okay, so it was good that Baker got to a really good start where he drove the team down and got some touchdowns through the air, because he needed to do that in this game. There's no way we would have won this game by running it. So that's what I'll say about that. Myles Garrett, just savage, playing like an animal. Just an overall good team win against a very good defense. I mean, I think the average opponent for them were like 14, 13 points or something like that, and we scored double that. So, I mean, even against the best defense in the league, we scored 31, 32 points, something like that. So, I mean, what more? This offense is legit. Even with stopping the run, we were able to make it down the field and score. So that's good. I'm gonna stop this video because I'm gonna make this just about the games. I'm gonna stop with this video, and on the next video that I'm gonna record right now, I'm gonna talk about the Dak Prescott incident and what I think about that, because I'm really upset with how things are turning out for Dak Prescott. So, if you want, check out my next video and you'll see my reaction to that. Good game by the Browns. We're 4-1. Just overall very good performances and good team wins, good resiliency. Our playmakers are making plays to put the game away. You know, it's like they know when to turn it up to win. Okay, they know what to do to win, which is very different from last year's team. So, thank you for watching. See my next video about the Prescott injury.